New feet within my garden go, new fingers stir the sod. A troubadour upon the elm betrays the solitude. New children play upon the green, new weary sleep below, and still the pensive spring returns, and still the punctual snow. Pink, small, and punctual, aromatic, low, covert in April, candid in May, dear to the moss, known by the knoll, next to the robin in every human soul. Bold little beauty, bedecked with thee, nature forswears Antiquity. The murmur of a bee a witchcraft yieldeth me. If any ask me why, 'twere easier to die than tell. The red upon the hill taketh away my will. If anybody sneer, take care, for God is here. That's all. The breaking of the day addeth to my degree. If any ask me how, artist who drew me so must tell. Perhaps you'd like to buy a flower, but I could never sell. If you would like to borrow until the daffodil unties her yellow bonnet beneath the village door, until the bees from clover rows their hock and sherry draw, why, I will lend until just then, but not an hour more. The pedigree of honey does not concern the bee. A clover any time to him is aristocracy. Some keep the Sabbath going to church. I keep it staying at home, with a bobolink for a chorister and an orchard for a dome. Some keep the Sabbath in surplice. I just wear my wings, and instead of tolling the bell for church, our little sexton sings. God preaches, a noted clergyman, and the sermon is never long, so instead of getting to heaven at last, I'm going all along. The bee is not afraid of me, I know the butterfly. The pretty people in the woods receive me cordially. The brooks laugh louder when I come, the breezes madder play. Wherefore, mine eyes, thy silver mists, wherefore, O summer's day? Some rainbow coming from the fair, some vision of the world cashmere I confidently see, or else a peacock's purple train, feather by feather on the plain, fritters itself away. The dreamy butterflies bestir, lethargic pools resume the whir of last year's sundered tune. From some old fortress on the sun, baronial bees march one by one in murmuring platoon. The robins stand as thick today as flakes of snow stood yesterday on fence and roof and twig. The orchis binds her feather on for her old lover Don the sun, revisiting the bog. Without commander, countless still, the regiment of Wooden Hill in bright detachment stand. Behold, whose multitudes are these, the children of whose turbaned seas, or what Circassian land? The grass so little has to do, a sphere of simple green, with only butterflies to brood and bees to entertain, and stir all day to pretty tunes the breezes fetch along, and hold the sunshine in its lap, and bow to everything, and threads the dews all night like pearls, and make itself so fine, a duchess were too common for such a noticing, and even when it dies, to pass in odors so divine, as lowly spices gone to sleep, or amulets of pine, and then to dwell in sovereign barns, and dream the days away. The grass so little has to do, I wish I were the hay. A little road not made of man, enabled of the eye, accessible to thill of bee or cart of butterfly. If town it have beyond itself, 'tis that I cannot say. I only sigh no vehicle bears me along that way. A drop fell on the apple tree, another on the roof. A half a dozen kissed the eaves and made the gables laugh. A few went out to help the brook that went to help the sea. Myself conjectured, were they pearls, what necklaces could be. The dust replaced in hoisted roads, the birds jocoser sung. The sunshine threw his hat away, the orchard spangles hung. The breezes brought dejected lutes, and bathed them in the glee. The east put out a single flag, and signed the fate away. A drop fell on the apple tree, another on the roof. A half a dozen kissed the eaves and made the gables laugh. A few went out to help the brook that went to help the sea. Myself conjectured, were they pearls, what necklaces could be. The dust replaced in hoisted roads, the birds jocoser sung. The sunshine threw his hat away, the orchard spangles hung. The breezes brought dejected lutes, and bathed them in the glee. The east put out a single flag, and signed the fate away. A something in a summer's day, as slow her flambeau burn away, which solemnizes me. A something in a summer's noon, an azure depth, a wordless tune, transcending ecstasy. And still within a summer's night, a something so transporting bright, I clap my hands to see. Then veil my too inspecting face, lest such a subtle shimmering grace flutter too far for me. The wizard fingers never rest, the purple brook within the breast still chafes its narrow bed. Still rears the east her amber flag, guides still the sun along the crag, his caravan of red. Like flowers that heard the tale of dews, but never deemed the dripping prize awaited their low brows. Or bees that thought the summer's name some rumor of delirium, no summer could for them. Or arctic creature, dimly stirred by tropic hint, some traveled bird imported to the wood. Or wind's bright signal to the ear, making that homely and severe, contented known before the heaven unexpected came, to lives that thought their worshipping a too presumptuous psalm. This is the land the sunset washes. These are the banks of the yellow sea. Where it rose or whither it rushes, these are the western mystery. Night after night her purple traffic strews the landing with opal bales. Merchantmen poise upon horizons, dip and vanish with fairy sails. There is a flower that bees prefer and butterflies desire. To gain the purple democrat, the hummingbirds aspire. And whatsoever insect pass, a honey bears away, proportioned to his several dearth and her capacity. Her face is rounder than the moon, and ruddier than the gown of orchis in the pasture of rhododendron worn. She doth not wait for June before the world is green. Her sturdy little countenance against the wind is seen, contending with the grass, near kinsman to herself, for privilege of sod and sun, sweet litigants for life. And when the hills are full and newer fashions blow, doth not retract a single spice for pang of jealousy. Her public is the noon, her providence the sun, her progress by the bee proclaimed in sovereign swerveless tune. The bravest of the host, surrendering the last, nor even of defeat aware when cancelled by the frost. Like trains of cars on tracks of plush, I hear the level bee. Ajar across the flowers goes, their velvet masonry, withstands until the sweet assault their chivalry consumes, while he, victorious, tilts away to vanquish other blooms. His feet are shod with gauze, his helmet is of gold, his breast a single onyx, with chrysoprase inlaid. His labor is a chant, his idleness a tune. Oh, for a bee's experience of clovers and of noon! Presentiment is that long shadow on the lawn, indicative that suns go down. The notice to the startled grass that darkness is about to pass.